And follow the sound, please. So while you're following the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing. And just let everything to settle down as it is. So if it is possible, may slowly close your eyes and give fully attention to this bell sound and follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So dear Dhamma friends, in this meditation session, we mainly focus to two mental cultures. One is called Samatha mental culture, another one is called Vipassana mental culture. So Chitta Bhavana and the Panya Bhavana, tranquility meditation and insight meditation. So these all the names will help us to deeply understand the very nature of the practice, because the mostly we have to understand through words this practice, but the thing is when it comes to meditation, and by words you cannot just bound to only one word. So you cannot go with only one word, because finally you have to get out of this all the details, and you have to follow your free mind. But somehow this information need for us to start the journey. So when it comes to tranquility meditation, our very nature in our mind, it's always going here and there, jumping place to place. Why the mind has that nature? Because we used to keep it that way for a long time, and we didn't put that much attention to the mind, and we didn't think about to maintain, or we didn't have enough understanding, or even we didn't want to maintain the mind the way we want. We allow just it to happen as it is. But now we understand that is not going to work, because when the mind start to go the way it wants, and whatever available it go with it. So mostly in our life, the greed, hatred, and the delusion and the disturbances, unsatisfactory nature. So those are the things mostly govern our life. So then when the mind go with that again and again and again, that we more gain the same kind of nature. So in tranquility state, in the tranquility meditation, what we does, we give primary mental object to our mind to stay with it. And only thing what you have to do, don't worry about the mind. Don't try to look where the thoughts go, why it's go like that way. Don't question or don't argue yourself. Only thing is, Once you have the primary mental object, just be with it. So as our primary mental object, we follow our inhalation, exhalation. So it is 24/7 available, and it is always going to be there, and there is nothing going to cost, and anywhere you can have it. Another thing is, deeply, your life has a deeper connection to inhalation, exhalation. Your nerve system, your brain, your mind, your thoughts, everything, each and every atom in your body, going to listen to the inhalation, exhalation. That is the only language our body can understand. So when you're able to start to settle down with the inhalation, exhalation, after a while, you feel more comfortable than any other thing. Another thing, in this wisdom path, that your brain need to function to the highest. So it depends according to the way you inhale or exhale. And sometimes knowingly or unknowingly, when we maintain our inhalation, exhalation, what is happening, it get out of its natural process. When something get out of that natural process, what happen, it deeply affect and bring some kind of unnecessary result. But through the inhalation, exhalation, we naturalize our entire very being, entire process, entire moment of living. So then that will help you to have the very comfortable, relaxed, natural awareness. That is very expensive. And if you experiencing that, means as a human being, you have to appreciate yourself, that what you experience, even for a 1 minute, 2 minutes, it's very expensive. And it is very rare. So you can gain it through observing inhalation, exhalation. And the other thing is, for the spiritual path, even for the awareness, for the wisdom path, you can put a very strong foundation for your future practice. So like that, there are many benefits you gain out of observing the inhalation, exhalation. Another thing is these visualizations, imaginations, and reduce the power of our awareness. And it make us kind of like develop a dependency mindset. But through observing the inhalation, exhalation, it's not like that. You become more and more and more independent. That when your awareness become independent and become relaxed and comfortable, and that way, that deeply what you experience is going to become more accurate. So like that. So that's why, just know yourself that what you're doing is one of the great benefit that the profitable skill that you develop. That's why we call it mental culture. If you're able to develop this with your mind, little by little, then knowingly or unknowingly, sometimes you gain deeply more better result to live your life more comfortably. That's comfortable, relaxed life is very rare, but it is there. Only thing is, we need just to get back to our roots. So that's why we keep practice like this way, for your own sake, of your own good, and for your own benefit, for your own peace and happiness, and for your own liberation. So bring your mind in front of your nose and your upper lip area and start to observe inhalation, exhalation. And when you observe inhalation, exhalation, and sometimes just saying that to do this way, do that way, do that way, sometimes going to miss the point. And that's why we have to go with the negation and what you should not do. So then you slowly can get into a right point. So one thing is don't interfere with the thoughts. Another thing is don't think that I inhale, I exhale. Don't imagine or don't regulate yourself inhalation, exhalation. Another thing is don't comment regarding inhalation, exhalation. So just start to watch, same like you are watching a river without disturbing to it. You are just watching the ocean without disturbing to it. Learn that art. And then you will see and recognize separately inhalation, exhalation. So it is there, just only thing, just see. Recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation. And from there, this is observe the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. This is the beginning, middle, and end. And some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. So just recognize it. And once you settle down with the mind and then with the tranquility state, your body, mind, breathing, thoughts, everything settle down to a place itself. And then your mind not going to get disturbed out of anything. Even within your own mind, it's not going to get disturbed. So that is where your mind become more usable. So once the mind become usable, we go to Vipassana level. So in the Vipassana level, today we observe the feelings in all in our body. So in the beginning, just observe head to toes and just see that some place, that there are different places, whatever the sensation arise, it's not going to be the same. It is different. Whatever the feelings arise in your head, it's different. And whatever the shoulder, your back, your legs, thigh, feet, and it's different. And even sometimes there are different kind of feelings arise with the pressure or the heat or kind of like that in the surface level. Just recognize it separately and accept it and don't interfere with it. Learn to see it, just your body, the bodily feelings. Don't change anything, don't argue with or don't comment regarding anything, don't judge any feelings, just see. When you observe these feelings like this way, sometimes some feelings start to bring kind of like old memory. So as example, like 20 years back, you hit something and you hit somewhere. Maybe your leg, your hands, your head or something. And now you're sitting and suddenly that area, then again you find some kind of feelings on the surface level, not the deeper, just on the surface level. And then that feelings right away take you to the memory that 20 years ago, whatever happened. So like that, deeply there are some, not all the feelings arise. There are some feelings trigger that all the defilement, mental formations deeply related to the memory, history. That's mean time. So if you see, don't go with it, just recognize it and see, and then follow the whatever the necessary. And when you go deeper, when you keep observing, then you see different places in different way. But when it comes to the deeper level, this all the feelings, in the one point you feel everything kind of like the same. There's no any difference. Everything the same and everything always moving. There's nothing you see any kind of solid feelings, whatever you gain. And also that is the third level of going deeper. So this all details, remember, this is not how to practice. This is just I giving details because it's a practicing vipassana is like a pre-fall. You just jump. It's I was reading some articles regarding this, and then one teacher explained, be like a hungry teddy bear when you come to vipassana. Be like a hungry teddy bear. It's kind of like, then I was looking why is that is saying like that. When it comes to hungry teddy bears, they don't care anything. They don't not bound to anything. They're not afraid for anything. So it's kind of like that. So when it comes to vipassana level observation, don't bound to any method, completely become free. Keep the 100% authority to aware only to the awareness, not to any ideas, not to any teachings, not to any believing, not to any faith. So that's why, and keep that freedom. And then, and another thing, so one thing is in the surface level, you see the difference. And then other thing is some feelings has power to trigger the memory. And then the in one way that your entire whole, the feelings can be the same. There's no difference. Another thing, when that feelings happens, and deeply, sometimes it like dislike neutral. There are some feelings connect to that feelings, that the ideas like, dislike or neutral. So some feelings right away, it's not happening later. The both, once you recognize, you see it's kind of like comfortable. Some you recognize uncomfortable, and some even you don't see in the beginning. You have to deeply observe. Why? Because it is in neutral level. So like that. And so that is the fourth thing. And the other thing is, some feelings has give a deeper mental effect also. So that is more powerful. So what is that mental effect is kind of like deeply hold it to desires. Because that's why the feelings we represent as self. That we have inner deeply that the mentally bound to feelings, this is me. So you can see when you need some practice for that, little by little, when you observe this way, you can go deeper, and sometimes you can see it. So you represent your feelings, this is me. And that feelings mentally, you have a build up the structure, the name, the self, the soul, or desire, this is everything bound to that. It's all over your body. So when you are able to go in the vipassana level, when you go deeper, you can see it. It's just feeling, it's just moving like a gel, but it's still, it's hold as that entire you. But the thing is, when you recognize this any stage, that's any, even you recognize the surface level or the deeper, this everything, remember 100%, just learn to see it. And little by little, even that Don't think, oh, I didn't see this. So I know whatever you see, just go with it. That is the best. Just say whatever the feelings you recognize, just go with it. Give you 100% and experience, see it. Another thing is, while you're observing this, don't settle down with the feelings. Why? Because our mind has very skillful nature to straight away settle down, get addicted to, settle down, get used to it. But don't get used to observe and see. Go deeper and see the change happening all the time. So whatever you see, how it change, see the change. And that is where the wisdom arises. So let's little bit practice and be comfortable yourself and relax your body. And your right palm on your left, neck head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. Scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Sopatveva or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge in this moment with this sitting. May my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your body. Bring attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area. And deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation. And observe your inhalation as inhalation, exhalation as exhalation. So whatever the behavior of the mind, don't worry about it. Just keep focus to the inhalation, exhalation. And follow the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. Also be aware some inhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. Just accept it. Don't try to change or adjust anything. Just allow everything to happen as it is. Bring your attention to your body. Observe the feelings over your skin. Bring your attention to your body. Observe your posture. Just get a mental note. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun. Spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma friends, in this spiritual path, when it comes to Buddha's teaching, one of the main important quality that you see in Buddha's teaching is the freedom. And Buddha never hold any authority as a teacher, as a master, and it gives the total freedom to the follower or the disciples. So then yourself, you have to remember, especially when it comes to Vipassana practice. So the Vipassana practice is the Buddha's main teaching. And we have the culture, tradition, we have religions, and we have other methods and patterns and many things, the puja, chanting, and that things. But finally, the main purpose was self-realization, and the main purpose was developing Vipassana knowledge. So that is the final destination and the final goal should be. So when it comes to Vipassana level, the one of the quality that you have to develop is total freedom inside your mind. You cannot bound to anything. So then from there, let's come to the conventional life. How this in conventional level you can develop something and put a foundation to help for your eternal practice. In conventional practice, authority is a kind of like something that holds this entire world, authority. People like to hold the power. People like to keep the power. And people, even there are some people like to give the power to somebody or something, and they develop kind of like a dependency mentality. They like if somebody take the responsibility behalf of them. But when it comes to life, that if you don't have the total freedom, you cannot experience the real life. So then if somebody develop authority, and what will happen? It affect for your wisdom, or it affect for your spiritual practice. It affect for your liberation. How it can happen like that way? So first, if you look very carefully, how the authority becomes stronger and powerful. So the authority becomes strong and powerful because someone else fearful to face the reality of the life. So that means experience, to go through something. So as example, for the Buddha, there is another name called Tathagata. So the Tathagata is mean one who has thus gone or came through. So that when it comes to total experience, and sometimes we don't want to take that kind of responsibility to experience something. Why? Because when it comes to even in day-to-day life, this ordinary life, that experience is hard. It always dangerous. And you need a kind of like a high matured mindset to experience something. So even in day-to-day life, society not contribute us for a single person to develop that maturity. Even the society, even the education, even the culture, the most miserable things, most of the religions not giving the facility or even not allow the follower or the students or the community of Sangha to develop their inner maturity to experience something themselves. So if you cannot experience something yourself, you're not going to understand that. So then mostly the experience always dangerous. And because of that, what is happening, some people have the fear themselves. So that fear, another thing is some people lazy. And some people, maybe lack of knowledge, they don't want even. And some people they found the comfort with something else. Then they deny to experience that. So like that, there are many reasons. People don't want to experience something. The reason is this: when you don't want to experience your life, knowingly or unknowingly, you giving the power to somebody to hold your life. That means somebody get the authority regarding your life. So if somebody hold the authority, and then again and again and again, what they does, they help for you to have the fear. Why? Because they can exist because if according to your fear. Why? Because they got the authority because of your laziness, because of your fear, because of your lack of interest, and because of lack of that wanting. So then whoever get the authority, it happened everywhere, politically, economically, socially, spiritually. You see that when people get the authority regarding others, what they does, they don't allow others to become matured. They always hold everybody behind them. So then because of that, what is happening? Again and again, we gain the fear and we gain the laziness. We gain the little comfort and we settle down with that. So we go with it. But in Vipassana level, we cannot do that. So then the very first thing that you have to do, get out of this authority mindset. Don't allow anybody to hold you. But you cannot do it suddenly. So how you can do? Physically, it can happen the way. Another thing is the mental authority. That is the most dangerous part. So in the physically, then in the society, and sometimes the people going to hold the power, and the people going to keep the authority regarding things. But it's not going to work for 100% for certain level. But the most dangerous things when it comes to the Vipassana level of practice, that we have the inner nature, we keep the mental authority. So before we go to that mental authority, it's regarding ourselves. There is something I want to mention regarding the fear. So when I have the fear to experience something, I give authority to somebody regarding myself, regarding my own my experience. Can you do it for me? Can you do it for me? When I become lazy, when I become kind of like weak, even if I am involving with something else, if I don't want that much to experience, so I give authority. No, I don't want, you go for that. So like that, I give the authority. So it's one thing, when I have the fear, I give the authority to somebody. And when somebody get the authority and they attach to power, and then what happening? They provide the more fear, more laziness, more comfort for me to keep me more down. And another thing is, when I have too much fear attachment to somebody, and as a result of that, the authority can come, and that also that the attachment can create the fear. So that fear also keep the authority to others. So as example, children. When it comes to parent and children, when you love too much for your children, what is happening? You always keep the authority regarding the children. And it can happen to teacher, student also. If the teacher too much care regarding the student, and maybe teacher keep the too much authority regarding the student. So if the teacher keep the too much authority, or the high priest keep the too much authority regarding the community, or the priest keep the too much authority regarding the followers, if the guru keep the too much authority regarding the followers, if the teacher keep the too much authority regarding the students, so the student cannot become free. So then that is both way. Look, that when I have the fear myself, I give the authority to somebody, and then as a result of that, what is happening? They provide more fear and the laziness, weakness to me. So then I going to go with it. Another thing is, when I have too much attachment and the love regarding somebody, children and parents, and husband and wife, and sometimes students and the teacher. So, and in the chair and the boss and the co-workers. So like that way, you're not giving the freedom to other person to experience that. You have the love and you have the good intention, but what is happening? Because of the fear regarding the other person, and you hold the authority. So this both way. And it can happen in spiritually also. That's why when we look at the Buddha's some conversations, and in certain places, Buddha left entire community of Sangha. So that is a very good deep teaching. Because sometimes the best I can do to you is leaving myself and stay away from you. So that way, then you start to practice yourself and start to look yourself. So for parents sometimes, like as example, look, when the children get married, if maybe parents have the love and the compassion regarding children, but if you try to interfere to their life, what will happen? If you keep the authority regarding something, even the husband, wife, you may be having the love and the compassion. But how about if you always keep the authority regarding your husband or wife, then the other person not free. If the person is not free, in that person's mind, they cannot have the love. So then you, as a result of that, what is happening? You're not going to experience the love from your husband or wife. There's nothing wrong with that person. The reason is you hold the authority, you hold the power. Even how to wear, how to eat, where to go, what to do, how to talk, how to walk. This everything sometimes. So conventionally, you have to look. And if you look for spiritual development, remember, in your heart, be like a bird. And don't bound to yourself. And even don't try to tie others' feathers. Just let them to free. No, they're not going to destroy themselves. Like if there are people, they're going to destroy themselves. You cannot hold that. Remember that. When it comes to deeper level, you cannot do anything to any other person. Even if maybe they are your children, maybe they are your husband, wife, but you can help conventionally for a certain level. But when it comes to deeper level, if you look to the bottom line, you cannot help for anybody in the surface level of, in conventional life. Why? Because the people's desire, sansara, the habits, the patterns, the wants is so stronger than we see. And sometimes people born with the purpose. So then who we are to change that? But still, in conventional life, if the person look really for change, or that we can help. So that's why give the freedom. Don't interfere with things. That's what we learn every day. Look, inhalation, exhalation, what I'm telling every day, don't interfere with that. If you interfere with it, you lose what you lose. You lose the wisdom. The same thing with the people. Don't interfere with anybody. If you interfere with anybody, maybe they're good, they're bad, they do very nasty things, that very ugly things they do. Don't interfere. Try, give the freedom. Look at the Buddha. During Buddha's time, there was one time, all the monks had the fight, that all the begging balls went, fly over, other monks' head. And what? What the Buddha did? Buddha left the temple and stay in the jungle. See, that is Buddha. He didn't go and, start authorize, you do this way, do that. No, he didn't. Look at the Buddha. So there is a deeper lesson, art, that telling regarding this life. So then you yourself learn that. It's going to be good for you. Not only you, all the people, everybody around you. Why? Because mostly this we control, we become unhappy, we fight with our own people. Why? It should not happen. Mostly fight happen with the married people. It should not happen. That should be the most beautiful, the place once you get married, when you have the love, and that should be the good place. Why you need the authority once you married? When you have children, why you need the authority if you are really love? Because deeply we have the fear. So that fear arises. That is the bigger reason the fear arises, because of the lack of understanding, because of the weakness, laziness, and the lack of wisdom. So like that, fix that. And that way you will see there is another part going to happen. Because when somebody get out of the authority, become free. So in that freedom, that person able to experience something to the highest. If you become free in that free mind, that what you see going to become clear, because you are inside free. In that free mind, whatever the love arises, it's going to become the real love. In that free mind, if the compassion arises, it's going to become the clear compassion. In that free mind, awareness arises, that's going to become the clear awareness. So in the Vipassana level, so when you observe, whatever you observe, remember, don't bound to the authority. And the inner other thing is the inner emotional and or the thoughts. We have the authority regarding our habits or the thoughts. So as example, you used to do something and you know how to do it. And then what is happening, you hold, it's kind of like now it become authority to yourself. If somebody else, even yourself, tomorrow if you try to do something, you don't want to change that. You hold it to that. Whatever the bodily action, verbal action, mental action, that you already have the pattern developed, so you keep authority to that. So that's why people sometimes say, oh, I am like this. How possible you can be like this? Because why? Because you always change. So you don't see that. And sometimes people say, I think like this way. I like this way. So how you come to a point like that way? Because in the deeply, you give power to your previous experience and previous whatever the thoughts that you went through, and that experience hold the power. It keep the authority. So when you have that authority, in this very moment, you cannot experience what is happening. So then get out of it. Each and every moment, take it as a new, fresh moment. And maybe yesterday, whatever happened, it happened. But in this very moment, just see it as a new moment. Maybe you have to change it. Maybe it is so difficult than yesterday. So then don't try to just repeat and cover it from yesterday action. Go for that. So that is how you develop an insight. You don't afraid anymore to face for your reality. You don't afraid for go towards experience. When you develop that inner quality within yourself, with your own thoughts, if you don't give authority to your emotions, your thoughts, your patterns, your habits, your believings, your views, if you don't give authority, you become completely free person inside. Be free from views. Be free from your own ideas. And the very first thing going to happen, you get out of the fear. You become like a bird and can fly anywhere in this sky. And you become kind of like a strong person with the clear views, like an eagle can see to the depth. And that way, you become stronger like a lion. And even you have no doubt to look back yourself. You become like an elephant. And even you are alone, you don't feel kind of like a dependency from anybody. So that's how. It's all qualities of your mind. It is there already. But only thing is you have little laziness, you have little weakness, and you have little I don't wantness, kind of like that. So but remember, maybe keep it for a while, but once you hear this, one day, if you're able to experience something beautiful and remember these things, and it will going to help for you. And in this human life, there are other people, everybody eat the same things. People eating, dancing, sleeping, reproducing. These things, it's nothing new. It's all the thousand years people keep doing. What you do new? Nothing. But when you come to this point, when you become free, what you see, what you hear, what you smell, each and every moment going to become completely new, fresh, brand new experience to your life. Get that. Experience it. So that's why through Vipassana, It make it more beautiful. That's why the Buddha's teaching is more beautiful, because it always try to make you free rather than developing the authority. It make you completely 100% free person inside your thoughts, with your thought, emotions, believing, views, with that all, and with the awareness. In that clarity, what you see, that is where you're going to see how things come to be as they are. So get it. And only thing is you have to be strong. So that is strong come out of dealing with your own thoughts and the emotions and the patterns. Get out of it. Don't repeat. Every day try to, even when you cook, do something new. Whatever, even you washing, do something new. Don't afraid. When you try to do something new, what's the first thing come? The fear. Then what is happening? Right away you go back to your old. See, that's how. But when you have the clear mind, you don't afraid to go for new. Get out of the plan. Don't plan ahead. Get out of the plan. Whatever available, go with it. Sometimes our mothers, they when they cook, when they don't have anything, they make the best meal. Sometimes they find little things, and they put everything and they cook. That become the best meal. So like that in life, you have that. You do it. Only thing is you don't see it. So we are here to show you, because once you see it, you know that, you keep it. Otherwise, maybe by mistake, you neglect it. So then don't afraid for that. Go for it. That is what the Buddha's real, the teaching. When you understand that, you feel how beautiful the Buddha nature, Buddha mind is, how beautiful it is, how vast, how strong it is. It is not a spiritual teacher kind of like that. And even we cannot imagine that what the vision that he has regarding this humanity. So only you can understand it through by yourself experiencing your own life. So with that, there was a Senkai, a temple, the Zen temple, and in that temple, the high priest was little old. Then the high priest thought, this is the time I have to give this temple to my student. And there were many students. And then one day what he did, he spread the news. Now somebody going to get the authority to the temple. And then he put a water bucket in the middle of the ground and in a hole, and then called to everybody and asked, what is this? Now it is a bucket, water bucket. And everybody, student by student, come and start to tell, oh, this is not a wood slippers. Oh, this is not a pillow. Everybody giving kind of like a answer without telling this is a water bucket. And because they were thinking, oh, this our master going to judge us through our kind of like a advanced level of answer. So they go giving, oh, this is not sun, this is not moon, oh, this is not a piece of rock. So like that, they giving different answers. And whoever come, now everybody sit around the water bucket. And then there was a student called Kenshi. He was cooking. He was the cook, and he used to cook in temple for all the month. And the Kenshi heard this news. Oh, everybody go, and then there was a test that going to have happening, and try to find the next high priest. And the Kenshi came, and then he looked that everybody, all the students around, and the teacher in front, and all the students, and looking this water bucket and telling different answers. And the Kenshi came, and what he did? He kicked the water bucket and everybody got wet. And he kicked and went away. And the high priest called him and told, from today, you are the principal of this temple. No? Same. In life, the same sometimes. But the fear of authority, the authority that hold within ourselves, and sometimes not allowed to even that the see the truth, even explain the truth. And that is what happening in day-to-day life. But that's why you have to be fearless. So that will help for you. Be fearless, and also the best contribution that you can do to your children, and make them free and independent and make them fearless. Don't develop any authority. If you love your husband, wife, the best thing that you can do, make them free and make them fearless. Don't hold the authority. You're never going to experience the love. Even a student and the teachers, give them the authority. Never give them the freedom. Never hold the authority. So that way you will see wherever you go. So whatever come to you, always remember. First thing, you become free from everything and share that freedom with others. And that is one of the best contribution to the path of the wisdom. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vivajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavattvantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ettavata mehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idamme punya kammang ආසවක්කයා වහන් හෝතු සබ්බ දුක්ඛා පමුංචතු. Bless you. So thank you very much everyone.